Samira Bawumia, His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, Ulama and Imams, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, Mayor of Accra, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. All praise and thanks are due to Almighty God, who has seen us through 30 days of prayer and fasting. It is our firm conviction that in this past month, we have found favor in the eyes of God, and we continue to ask for His blessings for ourselves, our families, our communities, and for our nation. I'm particularly grateful to God that I'm able to celebrate my first ever Eid with you as President of the Republic. I ask you to pray to God for me and members of my government, that we may govern in accordance with His will. I believe that we are a blessed nation, a nation where people of different faiths live together in peace and harmony. We must cherish this long-standing bond that exists amongst our people and use it as a basis for advancing the cause of our country. On my part, I continue to commit myself to the principles of our Constitution, which enjoins on me fairness towards all Ghanaians, irrespective of their religious creed. As a Christian, I am deeply respectful of the Islamic faith, which together with Christianity and Judaism are called the Abrahamic faith. We must therefore emphasize the things that bind us rather than the ones that divide us. I pay my respects to you, Sheikh Dr. Usman Nuhu Sharabutu. You are a true icon of our generation. Your actions bear testimony, accurate testimony, to the principles that inspired the founding fathers of our nation, who taught us that in spite of our differences, we are one people with a common destiny. You epitomize the Islamic principle of peace. You live the Quranic statement that states that those who are nearest to Muslims in brotherhood are the Christians. Your attitude has helped ensure the high levels of religious tolerance that exist in our country. We continue to pray for good health and long life for you, so that we may continue to savor the benefits of your wisdom. Chief Imam, Ulama, Jama'ah, we have lived our commitment to all Muslims of our country who live in our Zongo communities. We have lived our manifesto commitment to appoint first a minister responsible for Zongo and inner city development, and also to establish a Zongo Development Fund. We have in the 2017 Asempa budget set aside 219 million Ghana cedis as seed money for the establishment of the Zongo Development Fund. We're in the process of fashioning out the Zongo Development Fund law, which when enacted by Parliament will trigger the use of the money for the development of our Zongo communities. The Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development, the highly respected Honorable Boniface Abubakar Sadiq, is currently undertaking a nationwide consultative process on the use of the fund when it becomes operational. This is in line with our bottom-up approach to development. I encourage all Zongo residents and persons of inner cities to participate in these consultative fora and contribute ideas that will enable us fashion out a blueprint that will be acceptable and practicable, and which will inure to the benefit of all people in Zongo and inner cities. It is time we brought prosperity to all parts of our country. And I am confident that this year, the organization of the pilgrimage, the Hajj to the holy places, under the leadership of an outstanding, experienced public servant, Sheikh I.C. Quay, will be well organized and go without a hitch. And we will thank the Almighty for that. Chief Imam, Ulama Jama, I believe that inasmuch as religion is functional and help us to cope with the uncertainties of life, so is it dysfunctional. Religion is a double-edged sword that can also be invoked for destructive purposes. Consequently, I urge all Ghanaian Muslims to be wary of ideologues who may pervert a beautiful religion like Islam for selfish and destructive ends. Whether you are Al-Sunnah, Tijaniya, Shia, or Ahmadiyya, I remind you of the words of Allah as captured in Quran, chapter 3, verse 103. And I quote, "And hold fast all together by the rope which Allah stretches out to you, and be not divided amongst yourselves. And remember with gratitude Allah's favor on you, for you were enemies, and He joined your hearts in love, so that you, by His grace, you may become brethren." Unquote, let us continue to hold hands in brotherhood and unity, for that is the essence of Islam. As the African Union spokesperson on gender and development, and as a person fully committed to gender equality, I cannot end my address to you without saying a word about the education of the Muslim girl or woman. It is important for us to recollect that one of the cardinal teachers of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, is gender justice. Remember that before the advent of Islam, women in Arabia were treated as second-rate citizens, and female infanticide was rife. A situation that the Quran alludes to when it states that on the day of judgment, and I quote, "The female buried alive will be questioned for what crime she was killed," unquote. The Prophet restored the dignity of the woman, which we are required to uphold. It is not for nothing that the Prophet urges us to learn half of our religion from Aisha, a woman. This prophetic admonishment resembles Kweji Agri's oft-quoted statement that, and I quote, "If you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation," unquote. We thank God for this day and for His guidance and mercy throughout the month of Ramadan. We have this past month cultivated the virtues of tolerance, devotion, and discipline. I believe that these are virtues that must stand us in good stead even after Ramadan. I thus urge all of us to continue on these principles for the greater good of our nation and ourselves. We have a right to make merry and celebrate, but let us celebrate and make merry in moderation. And I'm praying for a trouble-free and accident-free Eid celebration. May the Almighty Allah bless us all and make our nation great and strong. Assalamu alaikum.